What's going on, guys? We're going to be talking about a day in the life of an instructor. Just got out of corporate. Everything went good. The new A model is coming out soon. So parking lots are very dangerous. What we're going to do is make sure this one wiper blade is not working right. So I'm going to switch angles for a second. So sometimes your wiper blades don't work. I'm actually going to go out and adjust it. Okay, so here's what's going on with that wiper blade. It's actually bad. So it doesn't even clean. So what you're seeing is the driver's side and you don't see the passenger side. So, we have class tonight. Fortunately, I don't have to drive any adults. I turned in paperwork the weekend. It's been a pretty good day. Got the metal Ray-Bans. Gotta sit down and relax a second. So we got about 150 miles range. It's enough to get us back. I'm gonna pause for a second, breathe. And this time I'm gonna pull through and I'm looking around. See all the sunlight in your eyes? You gotta have glasses on. You gotta make sure you protect your eyes and protect your vision. Hopefully all of you doing good. It's really cold today. It's not 63 degrees. It's 42 degrees outside. All right, I'll go down this really easy. It's 42 degrees. It's 63 in the car. And this is a Jeep Cherokee Limited, smaller version. My transfer case in my truck actually broke. So we're gonna have to get it rebuilt and then we'll go from there. So we're coming up to a partially controlled intersection. We have to stop. We want to come up and stop. So there's a car coming and I'm just going to wait. You have to look. If you don't get in a habit of looking, you're going to see this car coming and you'll get hit. Build those good habits and look where you're going. I turned hand over hand in, hand over hand out. Thank you for the blinker there. Some people don't turn properly. I'm looking. And I'm going to make my turn going really easily. Now this is a bit of a bigger vehicle. It could tip over, so I want to be careful. And I'm going to go over the speed bump really slow. All right, coming up to an intersection and I have the stop sign. So I have to stop and I can only make a right turn. So I'm going to come up, check traffic, just wait. And we all have to work together. I thought she was going to let me up, but nope. I wave. I'm always friendly. Be friendly out here in the HTS Highway Transportation System. We're going to be getting on an expressway, dealing with some traffic. And we all need to work together. I don't know what this guy's doing in this truck. One person had a question for me. You always want to turn in the nearest lane. If the nearest lane is full, obviously you go to the second lane. We're not kids here. We're adults. We're teaching people how to drive. Keep your turn as short as possible. Every state is different, but with common sense, turn in the nearest lane. If the first lane is blocked, go to the second lane. If the first and second lane are blocked, go to the third lane. So I do read my comments, so we're going to come up. We're going to check traffic. I'm looking. I'm checking. Okay. Then I'm going to merge on the expressway. It's like a police situation over there. And I'm not used to this vehicle, so it moves out pretty good. It's got pretty good torque, low end torque. It's a 6-cylinder, and this is an all-wheel drive vehicle, so the motor's in sideways. Good, I came out to the first lane. You may not be into cars like I am, but you still need to know maintenance, oil change, windshield wiper blades, and this car does need an oil change too. see. But you got to take care of your maintenance. This car's got 118,172 miles. We're at about 60 in the first lane. It's moving pretty good. The county did a good job of cleaning and salting the roads. Every county's different. Each county's in charge of their own. Things are moving pretty good. Moving over one lane. To the left, middle lane. And I'm lifting my foot a little bit. I don't want to tailgate. About 65 miles an hour. This vehicle's really nice. Leather interior. I think it's a 2021 or 2019. I need to look on the registration. I can't do that right now. You have to have a reliable transportation to get to and from work, pick up your child if you have one, transport your parents. I always feel sorry when a car is broken down, but you got to stay on top of that maintenance. Another one lane to the left. Step Ford Raptor. Nice. Just a modified F-150, bigger motor, tires, rim, dual exhaust. I think the Raptor has that Coyote engine. I want to congratulate Brett Lazarus. I think I'm saying his name wrong. He won the World Championship. He passed his Coyote engine, drag radio. Incredible guy. Even though I'm not a Ford guy, you got to give the man his props. He works hard, tunes, doesn't let anything get in his way. So he's definitely a role model for me. So Brett, if you hear this, I love your content, and I really appreciate the hard work that you go through, and you teach us that it takes dedication. So thank you, brother. I'm at about 72 miles an hour. 90 miles of range. My car has a donut tire on there. You can see it to the right. It had a flat tire. It's a space-saving tire. I'm looking ahead at the traffic backup, and these brakes are it's got a very light pedal, so you gotta slow down real easy. I'm watching for cars who are gonna cut off, cut over, side swipe, and rear end accidents are very common. I'm losing my following distance to the semi truck. You notice no one wants to get behind the semi truck. A lot of these cars are just cut off and set you up for failure. That happened to us Sunday. A school bus was driving on the expressway. They had us cut over to the left. My student almost rear-ended the car. I'm thinking to myself, how can this happen? It's one thing to learn how to drive. It's one thing how to understand how to drive. We're in the magic middle lane of 52. Definitely smell that diesel. I'm going to change lanes. Get over to the left lane, past the semi-truck. Semi-truck has 4 blind spots, left side, right side, front and back. I'm in the left lane, so we definitely have to pick it up a little bit. About 78 miles an hour. You can see the difference from one lane. It's about 5 to 10. Hey, how are you? What's going on? Thank you. All right, so we're back here. Instructor from New York. Hey, how are you doing? What are some of the challenges that you have? And of course, you got to be 18 to get your full license in New York. You have a junior license. About 71 miles an hour. I don't need to go over speed and tailgate this Colorado. I've been to New York a couple times. Yes, what challenges do you have? That is correct. I know you live in a very small area. Well, it's large, but you know, in terms of space. How much is driver's education there? Do people wait? Okay, I'm about 73 miles an hour. This car, I need to go faster. This car's freaking tailgate. I just wish people use blinkers more. And just take their time. Really, I try to be a defensive driver. I teach a lot of defensive driving skill sets. A lot of people are doing 85 and 90. You know, I can't afford tickets just like you can. As an instructor, and you understand, if you get a ticket, it's going to mess up your process. It's a tremendous challenge. I feel you. Yeah, not following the rules. I get it. I'm teaching more adults also too, people 21, 25, 27, who just have anxiety getting on the roads. We went to Buffalo, New York a few years ago. Son was being recruited, so we took the 401 across. Went to University of Buffalo, where Khalil Mack played football there. Okay, good. Yeah, I understand. Can't afford tickets, man. That's terrible. Cannot. And I know car insurance is very expensive there. I know it is. So everyone's moving about 75, 77 miles an hour. They're really close. I'm trying to keep more room. That red Jeep is really tailgating that white minivan. I was trying to keep good speed and good space. I'm about 73. The pace goes between 71 and about 75 miles an hour. I need some words to teach. Yes, I've taught, the last 8 months I've taught about, did that guy throw something at me? What the heck? Yeah, a lot of adults don't want to listen to directions, and that puts us in danger. I definitely agree. I think each of us need to take that bit of personal responsibility when we're out driving, try to be as safe as possible, and just do our best. Because we each have that responsibility to make sure our cars are in good shape, to make sure we have a license and registration and insurance. A lot of people in this area tend to drive without insurance, and if they hit you, they leave the scene of an accident. I'm trying to stay as smooth as possible. They're on my blind spot. I'm going to get over one. And this morning there were several accidents. A rollover accident. A woman went into the ditch and flipped her car. It's just, people are crazy, man. They just go too fast. There's no speed limit. They'll go 150 on here. I've seen people go 170, 180. Crazy. Yeah, I can read these messages. They pop up on my screen. Usually I have a moderator in, and she's also from New York. But we're all a community. Now, are you subscribed to the channel, or did you just pop in? Because we're just trying to keep it for subscribers, because a lot of people just say random stuff and they don't really want to learn. So if you're subscribed, I do appreciate that. Trying to push out more videos. This is the cloverleaf. Do you have a lot of these here in New York? Whew, that sun is so bright. Man, look at these cars. Just cut me off. Oh, bro. They're from Ohio. Trying not to get rear-ended. Side swipes and rear-end accidents are the most common. Okay. I appreciate you. Do you have I'm not going to run this. Do you have a YouTube channel also? Do you push out content? Because what I'm doing, and let me flip the screen. What I'm doing, I'm making more content now. Driving tutorials, parking, a day in the life. You should start making some of those types of videos. Just telling people my journey, what I go through, driving, 35, 40 minutes to work in the morning, getting gas, warming the car up. I do those things, and to show another side of me. Not a cloverleaf, okay. We have a lot of those. They're difficult to get on, difficult to get off. And I find, because I remember having a car that would break down in the wintertime, wouldn't start. I didn't have the money for maintenance. My car would let me down. I lost some jobs like that because I couldn't get to work on time. My car, I didn't have heat in the car. The car barely started. But those hard days make you a better person. You need those hard days. Yeah, definitely. The shorts is really good once you get some good titles out, but it doesn't build a lot of loyalty for people. So I do shorts, I do lives. I try to do as much as I can. And if you have one video that pops off, you double down. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's just give people perspective of the day in the life of an instructor. And this is the route that we take students on, making right turns and left turns. You know how it is. You're an instructor. They go into the ditch. They go off the road. They can't keep the car straight. And then because this is a long straightaway, a lot of people go like 70 here. And of course you have King of Burgers, you have Taco Bell, you have McDonald's. So people are sticking French fries in their nose, and then they come out and hit you. There's been a lot of accidents here. But I've learned to be a better driver and a better instructor by taking people out. Every time you drive someone, you learn. I would love to drive one of those cyber trucks, those semi-cyber trucks. That would be so cool to drive one of those. I could get my class 1 or class 2 CDL, but right now, I got the corporate job, then driver's ed, then I do the social media stuff. So when would I really have the time? By 2023, by 2032, I'm tripping. I want to have something else in place, so I'm kind of preparing for that. Okay, so on these roads it's 50 or 55. On some of our main interstates, it's 70. Another interstate is 75. They go from 70 to 65 to 55. And then the other part of the state, it is 75 miles an hour. There's different theories on speed limits. In turns like this, I had a student who didn't look to the left. He almost ran over a pedestrian. But you remember these moments. And I think the biggest thing is just teaching people how to be calm, how to be safe. I had one kid come in with Crocs on. I didn't drive him. One kid almost crashed here. He got so nervous and almost lost control. And then we try to take students through neighborhoods, working on right turns, left turns. I do have a route. They're 5, 10, or 15-mile loops. I don't know what they're doing. They're just sitting there. Okay, they're just sitting there. What are you doing here? They're just sitting here. I'm not gonna roll up on them. And then when you're in these residential areas, you got to be extra careful. People don't stop. They blow stop signs. Kids pop out between trees. So it's really about being that really good defensive driver. Have to be. And then a lot of the driver's ed cars have 180, 200,000, 295,000 miles on there. Then after around 225 or 230,000 miles, yeah, those Crocs, man, they tripping on those Crocs. And then after about 225,000, for what I've seen, the cars keep breaking down, brakes, tires, rotors, mechanical things. So I just try to be as careful as possible and really try to do a good, I'm gonna go down here. And this is a route we take clients on through neighborhoods. There's that school bus up there. That was the question on the state test. That stop arm is out. I see the mail truck. They didn't even stop. And then we go through neighborhoods. You probably have some routes you go through also too. I'm just taking you through some routes. If you have questions, put them in. So this is one of the routes that takes students and we want to have a complete stop. And then what we want to do is look left, right, and left. And then we're going to make our turn. We're going to the turn short and turn out. We're just trying to be patient. And then we go into these neighborhoods, teach them good speed control, this is the cul-de-sac. Yes, you have to teach defensive driving. what we need to do, I wish we could go online together. You know, I had a couple of people come on with me. One was a software engineer. Okay, and then also I do have a podcast called Driving with Myles. What we need to do, I watched. Oh, okay. And just trying to get better, you know, classroom, in car, driving to work, driving back. I've had some videos going to Iowa, Texas. So I have a lot of content, and I'm just trying to get it organized. And then, you know, we take students through here. This house is terrible. That house right there to the right, oh my God, what a mess. But this is a good area to take students. A lot of tight right turns, a lot of tight left turns, lane positioning. But what I find is people 21, 25, 27, 30 just don't want to drive. They've been through anxiety, just not comfortable. And that's an opportunity. So this nonprofit, that's what I want to start, social emotional. So I'm trying to make plans. So around 2032, I do want to do something else. I love what I do, but I'm looking for another opportunity because it's a lot of hours away. I'm stopping. It's a lot of hours away from the family. And eventually I want to do something else, but I love teaching people how to drive and getting ready. I see the bus over there. And a lot of these driving schools do not, pay the rate you should. And then, of course, Ohio and Florida have changed the rules and laws. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to pull in this driveway and just turn around. Whoa. Okay. And they require, if you're under 21, you're going to have to take more of a defensive driving class. And you mentioned defensive driving. So I support that. I support anything defensive driving skill-wise to get you prepared. See a lot of electric vehicles around here. 25 years old, repeat, they are usually seen. Yes, that is true. That's a nice perspective. You offer different perspective. I'm glad that you're coming on and sharing. How long have you been teaching driver's ed? I've been doing this about 24 years, 23 years. And I see a lot of crazy drivers, a lot of people who don't want to learn, a lot of people don't want to listen, and then they end up crashing. A lot of parents are not involved with their sons and daughters. A lot of younger drivers think they know how to drive, they don't want to listen, and then those are the ones that crash. There are a lot of instant yellow lights, a lot of roundabouts. There are more roundabouts. People are very impatient with beginning drivers. They seem like we're holding them up, but yet at one point in time they were beginning drivers. I see a lot of students waiting till they're 17 or 18. Everyone has a story behind them. Usually after about 16 or 17, you're late taking driver's ed. And we have 6 weeks to get students done. I drive anywhere from 10 to 20 students every 6 weeks. How many students do you have? Do you do private lessons? Are you doing a group? For instance, I got my segment 2 roster today. I have 20 students who I'll be seeing tomorrow online. Different perspectives are critical. That's why. Oh, I feel you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see if I can. Let me click a button a second. Create a highlight video. I'm just clicking on something. Potential spam. No. I'm just looking at these buttons. Highlight save channel. It's unlisted. Okay. There is a different perspective. Female drivers tend to be better drivers. They listen, they work hard. A lot of male drivers tend to be very aggressive. They think they know everything. Everyone's a little bit different. And my boss once told me, have your kid gloves on, but that was 15 years ago. This is 2025. A lot of younger people have anxiety. Their parents don't really have time to train them. One point in time, I got a call from corporate. They asked me if I wanted to do a private lesson. I'm like, yeah, it pays more money. Well, this person needed 30 hours of private driving because his parents were divorced. They lived in 2 different counties. Currently, I'm a math teacher. Hey, I love that. I'm an educator too. I do social studies and science. Ever since I graduated, educator first, driver's ed second, and then basically the driver's ed and my school job. It's like 2 full-time jobs, right? And you can make a good living if you balance your time, over 100K, 110K, 130K, but it's a lot of time away from your family. I have a very understanding family and wife. And my son and daughter are older. They've seen me with the driver's ed car coming home, picking them up. Those 2 checks definitely help. I'm gonna go straight, I'm looking. Is she even gonna stop? So those checks help, let me tell you. But also it's time away. And that's where I'm at now. Time away, because if you don't have an understanding spouse, you can go home one day and no one's gonna be there. So it's really important that you have someone who understands the grind. Thank you. I'll wave. That's a beautiful tree right there. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, couch about to blow out in the street. But you got to have someone who understands. Do you do backup driving, or do you teach and drive? I do both. I do the in-car as well as in-class because, I see this car. Usually the way it's set up in our state, we can do 36, right? 36 is the max number. If I was in person, I would drive 36. I would have a backup instructor. Yeah, 2 checks. Hey, you already know, right? And then some driving schools don't put money into the cars. They have you driving a piece of crap car, and then it breaks down all the time, and you look bad. Customers are like, oh my God. But also, if you do a great job, word of mouth, they will recommend you, and that's good too. I mean, it's a beautiful area. They'll recommend you. So, because I'm always trying to look for more, but I have a great situation because I do online, and then I teach 6:30 to 8:30, and then if I want to drive after, I can, and if I don't, I won't. So having that control is good. I have experience. I can run a whole driver's ed company if I want it. So obviously my goal is to do the nonprofit, to teach adults how to drive, do social emotional. Because a lot of these driving schools don't want to really pay anybody $15 or $18 or $20 an hour. No. Upwards of 25, 27, 32. If I can get into a public school, it would be like $35, $50 an hour. $28.50 is $60,000. Whoa, I don't want to burn rubber. $28.50, is it $26.50, I believe, is $60,000. Okay, but a lot of schools are dropping driver's ed. Do you have driver's ed at the public school where you teach at? Because about 10 years ago, they've stopped driver's ed in public schools. A few of the schools do that. I'm fully certified. I can teach anything and drive. Hey, love that. Got that new. I'm certified in social studies, middle school through high school, 10th, 11th grade, American history, world history. I don't have an RX. If I had the RX, I could do economics, government, political science. So at my point in my career, it's not worth me spending $8,000 or $10,000 because I'm almost done. So it does limit me some, but I'm up on the pay scale, 70, 75K teaching, and you do the math, 30 or 40 or 55,000 with driver's ed. So yes, but a lot of driver's ed schools, and you could probably say the same, a lot of them have been caught cheating, cars not certified, instructors with expired licenses. They're cracking down. And by you living in New York, you have a large ethnic population. By me being in Midwest, there's a large number of immigrants coming. And I'm not anti-immigrant. I want you to know that. Anyone wants to learn how to drive, I'll teach you, right? I'll teach you. But come with the right intentions. A lot of people are paying off instructors $500, $800 just pass. No, because if you do a good job and a person crashes, they're gonna backtrack, and so I'm not losing my endorsement for money. It's not worth it. So I can choose what I want. Like my boss wants me to take a bunch of kids over Christmas. I can make, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. But I'm not going to kill myself, right? Basically, 1,000 every 2 weeks, 15 every 2 weeks is good. If I want to push harder, if I'm trying to race or build something, go on vacation, I can do that. My battery said 10%, guys. I'll talk a few more minutes. Oh. So, but we'll talk offline. Follow me on Instagram, Driving with Myles, and then we'll talk. I want to do a podcast with you, talk to you. We can go online together. I really appreciate you. Please reach out to me, Driving with Myles, on Instagram, and then we'll talk then. I want to say thank you all for joining us today. It was really nice, and I appreciate you. Subscribe. Bye.